So, as a full disclaimer, this is adult-oriented, 18 plus. 18 plus content here that I'm reading. I normally don't do I normally do 18 plus content because I think that's the given on Twitch, and also because I'm a very vulgar fucking individual. But just keep in mind, this is 18 plus. There are mature warnings. Everything's checked on there. I'm not held accountable for anyone who is offended / turned on or whatever by this. Okay, you guys could do this in your own time. But I will read this. I will keep this as authentic as possible. I might change a little of it, but we will see how it goes. Okay. All right. So this was Freddy versus Jason Part 5, correct? Yes. All right. I do not think it has a sub name, but I'm going to name it Freddy versus Jason Part 5, The Rekindling. And I'm going to name it that because it's probably going to get warm. All right. Everyone strap in for potentially your strap-ons. All right. The moon hung low over Elm Street, casting an eerie glow on the abandoned houses that lined the road. The air was thick with the scent of pine and decay, a reminder of the horrors that had long haunted this place. But tonight, something was different, something far more sinister. In the middle of the street, two figures faced off. That whole beginning part sounds familiar. Like, that was almost like the same entrance start of one of the other ones. In the middle of the street, two figures faced off, their silhouettes sharp against the moonlight. Freddy Krueger, his tattered red and green sweater barely clinging to his skeletal frame, stood with a wicked grin plastered across his burned face. His steel claws glinted dangerously as he twirled them in his fingers, ready for the kill. Across from him, Jason Voorhees, the hulking mass of muscle and rage, gripped his machete with a vice grip, his mask unmoving, eyes hidden behind the cold, dead stare of a madman. "You really thought you could take me down, fucking clown?" Jason's voice rumbled deep in his chest, each word punctuated by a growl. "I'm not some kind of kid you can scare into pissing their pants." Freddy's grin widened, his eyes narrowing with malicious intent. "Oh, but you are just that, aren't you, Jason? A goddamn overgrown child who never learned how to play nice. Think you're tough because you can chop up some teenagers? Big fucking deal." His voices are going to hurt my throat tonight. Jason's grip tightened on his machete, his knuckles turning white. But I'll be lurking now as they cry fear is a full warning of mature, but also of one emotional part. I want to say it, but I don't know if the word is allowed. I don't know. I don't know what the word is to know if it's allowed. If you say a word and it's not allowed, it will probably be banned. That doesn't mean just start trying words, though. We'll figure it out, Avi. We'll see how it goes. Jason's grip tightened on his machete, his knuckles turning white. "Fuck you, Krueger. You're nothing but a joke. A pervert who gets off on nightmares. I'm the real deal." With a roar of pure fury, Jason charged forward, his machete slicing through the air with deadly precision. Freddy dodged just in time, his claws slashing out in retaliation, raking across Jason's chest with a sickening screech of metal on flesh. But Jason didn't flinch, his momentum carrying him forward, driving the blade deep into Freddy's side. Freddy let out a gurgling scream, his body convulsing at as the machete tore through him. Excuse me. Blood sprayed in torrents, mingling with the black ooze that oozed from his wounds. For a moment, it looked as though Freddy might actually fall, but then, with a twisted chuckle, he grabbed hold of the blade, pulling it deeper into his body, using it to anchor himself. "You think that's enough to kill me, you dumb fuck?" Freddy spat, his voice strained but defiant. "I'm already dead, Jason. And now, so are you." With a final surge of strength, Freddy's claws shot out, plunging into Jason's throat. The big man staggered back, clutching at the gaping wound, blood pouring from between his fingers. He dropped to his knees, his eyes wide with shock, before collapsing onto the cold asphalt, dead. For a moment, there was silence. Still, a deafening stillness that seemed to stretch on forever. Freddy stood over Jason's lifeless body, breathing heavily. His own wounds slowly knitting themselves back together. He sneered down at the falling killer, his voice dripping with contempt. "Piece of shit," he muttered, turning away. "Should have known better than to mess with Freddy." But as he took a step towards the nearest house, the ground began to tremble. Freddy paused, glancing back over his shoulder in confusion. Jason's body was starting to glow, a sickly green light emanating from beneath the mask. Freddy's eyes widened in horror as he realized what was happening. No fucking way. The light grew brighter, searing through the night as Jason's body lifted off the ground, hovering in midair. His wounds closed, his skin reknit itself, and within seconds he was whole again. Stronger, more powerful than before. Oh, he's a Super Saiyan. He landed with a heavy thud, the impact shaking the very earth beneath him. Freddy stand dumbfounded. What the fuck? Remember. This is rated X. Jason tilted his head to the side, a low rumble escaping from behind the mask. "You resurrected me." Freddy blinked, trying to process what he was seeing. "Yeah? Guess I did?" For a moment, neither of them moved, simply stood there, caught in the bizarre reality of the situation. Then slowly, Jason straightened, his massive frame towering over Freddy once more. He lowered his machete, the blade scraping against the ground as he walked forward, stopping just inches from Freddy's face. "Why?" The word came out muffled, distorted by the mask, but the intent was clear. Freddy swallowed hard, his mind racing. Well, I mean, we're both killers, right? Maybe we should work together or something." Jason remained silent, his gaze unwavering. Freddy shifted nervously, realizing just how precarious his position was. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Jason nodded once, the movement sharp and decisive. "Pizza," he said simply. Freddy blinked. "What?" "Pizza," Jason repeated, his tone leaving no room for argument. "Let's eat." Why? Why is it always that Jason and Freddy go get pizza? This is such a weird thing that the AI keeps doing. Yeah, I thought that too, Dante. Freddy accidentally resurrects him, and then he's like, yeah, oh yeah, I did that on purpose. That's what I did. Also, I don't know why the AI keeps saying that Freddy and Jason should go get pizza. I feel like it's trying to tell us something, but I don't know what. Pizza, Jason repeated, his tone leaving no room for argument. "Let's eat." Just watch TMNT while eating pizza. Oh boy. Oh, we're never getting to Cryosphere tonight. Freddy leaned back in his chair, staring at Jason across the table. So, you're saying that you want to team up? Oh, Yargan, that's possible. It could be thinking Freddy Fazbear. Jason grunted, picking up a slice of pepperoni and taking a bite. "Not team up. Just stop fighting. Waste of time." Freddy snorted, rolling his eyes. "Yeah, well, if you hadn't been such a dick about it, maybe we wouldn't have had to fight in the first place." Jason's hand froze halfway to his mouth, the slice of pizza forgotten. "Don't start, Kruger. We're done with that." Freddy smirked, leaning forward. "Oh, come on, Jason. Admit it. You know you enjoyed our little brawl. The thrill of the hunt, the rush of the battle. Don't act like you're above it." Jason set the pizza down, his gaze hardening. "I don't need thrills. I do my job. That's all." Yeah, it's just a job for Jason. He doesn't do it because he likes it. He does it for his job. Freddy chuckled, shaking his head. "Bullshit. You're as fucked up as I am, if not more. Killing's all you know and all you care about. Don't pretend you're some noble warrior, because we both know you're nothing but a murderer." Jason was silent for a long moment, his gaze drifting down to the half-eaten pizza on the table. Then, without warning, he reached out, grabbing Freddy's wrist and yanking him forward. Freddy stumbled, nearly toppling out of his chair, but Jason's grip was like an iron, holding him steady. Yeah, I know what you're going for here, Mark. We don't work together, Jason growled, his voice low and dangerous. We fuck each other's brains out until we forget why we were fighting in the first place. Freddy's eyes widened, his breath catching in his throat. For a moment, he was too stunned to react, but then, slowly, a smile spread over his face. Now that, he purred, sounds like an excellent idea. Speaking of purred, hello, kitty. Freddy and Jason stood in the dimly lit pizza joint, the tension between them palpable. Are they gonna fuck in the pizza place? The air was thick with the scent of cheap pepperoni and burnt cheese, mingling with the metallic tang of their lingering aggression. Freddy's trademark fedora lay discarded on a nearby table. Oh. Who's going to stop him? I mean, I guess. Its brim slightly bent from their earlier scuffle. Jason's hockey mask hung askew on his head, one eye hole skewed to reveal part of his scarred face. Why are you here for this? Because you wrote it. You think you're so fucking tough, don't you? Freddy sneered, his fingers twitching with anticipation. But we both know who the real king is around here. Are they gonna fight for top position? Jason's response was a low growl, his massive frame moving with predatory grace as he took a step closer. Fuck you, Kruger. You ain't shit without your dreams. They're still fighting! The words hung in the air like a challenge. Freddy's eyes narrowed, his lips curling into a twisted smile. He could feel the fire of challenge burning within him, the need to assert his dominance. Without another word, he lunged forward, grabbing the front of Jason's stained flannel shirt and yanking him closer. It's far worse than any horror game ever. Yark makes a good point. Jason didn't resist. Instead, he met Freddy's gaze with an intensity that made the smaller man shiver. Their faces were inches apart. I just thought of something. I have a little Freddy figurine. I should have busted him out for this fight. With a sharp motion, Freddy... Oh, I do. And Jason's mask in the back. That's true. Alright, give me half a second. I know where it is. I have him, I just need his hat. Here's his hat. Look. Look, here he is. And here's his little hat. See? It's Freddy. I'll just hold him right here. How about that? And I'll move him when I talk. Jason didn't resist. Jason didn't resist. Instead, he met Freddy's gaze with an intensity that made the smaller man shiver. Their faces were inches apart, breaths mingling in the charged atmosphere. Freddy could see the faint reflection of his own twisted grin in Jason's single visible eye. With a sharp motion, Freddy tore at Jason's shirt, buttons flying across the room as the fabric gave way. Jason's chest, broad and heavily muscled, was revealed, crisscrossed with old scars that told tales of countless battles. Isn't he, like, dead? Shouldn't his body be, like, zombified? Freddy ran his gloved hand over the rough skin, feeling the heat radiating from Jason's body. Jason's hands moved towards Freddy's waist, deftly locking onto the belt buckle and pushing the ripped jeans down his legs. What the fuck was that music? What the hell is going on with the song? Jason moved to Freddy's waist. Freddy stepped out of them, standing now only in his tattered red and green sweater. His appendage hard and throbbing. Strained against... This music is not helping. Strained against the fabric, eager for release. Freddy's breath came faster as he felt Jason's rough hands on his hips. pulling him closer until their bodies pressed together. The sensation of Jason's hardness against his own was almost too much to bear. Yeah, I know. Cough, cough. Uh-huh. This music is insane for this situation right now. This is from a Halloween lo-fi beat, by the way. But in this instance, it means something very different. Freddy ground his hips, seeking friction, moaning softly at the contact. Jason responded by lifting Freddy off the ground, his grip firm and unyielding. Freddy wrapped his legs around Jason's waist, his back hitting the cold metal of a nearby table. The shock of the chill contrasted sharply with the heat. Okay, music, we got it. Oh my god, I did not choose this song. I didn't choose this song. This is on a playlist that's 10 hours long. The shock of the the music is breaking me. Jason responded by the raptor was like nearby table. The shark chill contrasted sharply with the heat of Jason's body, making Freddy gasp. Fuck me, Freddy demanded, his voice ragged with need. Show me how big and bad you really are. Jason didn't waste any time. With one hand supporting Freddy's weight, he used the other to guide his member to Freddy's entrance. The anticipation was electric, every nerve ending on fire as they both fought to control their breathing. Then, with a slow, deliberate thrust, Jason entered Freddy. The final stretch was intense, pain mixing with pleasure as Freddy's body adjusted to the intrusion. Wow, that's one way to put it. He bit his lip trying to suppress a moan, but it escaped anyway. That's what Freddy's moan sounds like. It escaped anyway, a sound that was half pleasure, half pain. Jason paused, giving Freddy a moment to adjust. When he felt the smaller man relax around him, he began to move. Yep, hi, Sergey. Slowly at first, then gaining... Make sure the kids are not in the room for this, Sergey. Make sure the kids are not in the room. I am not held accountable for this. I'm not going to be the one that has to explain to Jessica why the kids heard some phrases that they shouldn't have heard. Jason paused, giving Freddy a moment to when he felt the smaller Randy begin to move, slowly at first and gaining speed. Each thrust was brutal, driving deep into Freddy's body, hitting spots that made him see stars. You're just popping in before you go to work? Well, I'm just gonna go to work. That's fair. That's fine, Sergey. I don't take it personally. Freddy's hands gripped the edge of the table, knuckles white with effort. His vision blurred with tears of ecstasy, his mind reeling. Zulu just messaged me. I clipped the thing from Dante's stream where I was like, no, it's funny because Zulu's father left him. And I sent it to Zulu and he was like, LMAO, accurate. I knew he wasn't going to get upset by that. Sorry. Freddy's hands gripped the edge of the table, knuckles white with effort. His vision blurred with tears of ecstasy, his mind reeling from the sensations coursing through him. The smell of sweat and sex mingled with the pizza grease, creating an intoxicating blend. Jason's grunts grew louder, matching the rhythms of his thrust. He could feel the buildup of pressure in his boop boop, the impending explosion that promised release. But he wasn't done yet. Not until Freddy was broken and begging. Damn. Fuck, Jason. That is evil. Please. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Please. Freddy whimpered, his voice barely audible. Harder, Jason. Make me yours. Oh my god. Those words were all the encouragement Jason needed. With a roar, he plunged deeper, pounding into Freddy with relentless force. The table creaked under the strain, threatening to give away at any moment. Freddy's cries mingled with Jason's growls, filling the small space with the sound of their mutual conquest. Each thrust sent waves of pleasure crashing over Freddy, making it hard to stay conscious. His nails dug into the metal surface, leaving grooves in their wake. Just when Freddy thought he couldn't take anymore, Jason reached around and found his... interesting thing to talk about, AI. Found something deep in Freddy, hitting it with pinpoint accuracy. The resulting wave of pleasure was enough to push Freddy over the edge. He came with a scream He came with a scream. His mayonnaise splattered onto the table below. The sight of Freddy's orgasm pushed Jason to his limit. With a final powerful thrust, he emptied himself into Freddy. His bond shuddering with release. For a moment, there was only a sound of their heavy breathing, the world outside forgotten. This would be a real weird thing if this is the first time someone has ever seen my stream. Better kill her, Jason rasped, his voice hoarse from exertion. Me. Freddy opened his eyes, still dazed from the intensity of their encounter. He smirked despite the exhaustion weighing him down. We'll see about that. So that happened. Think you'll find my story a bit more wholesome? I will, Lee. I really need to play the game a little bit. We've been streaming for almost an hour, and I haven't even touched the game. So I'm going to get into the game, and then as soon as I get frustrated, which sounds like from you and Dante will not be very long, I'll take a break. I'll jump back into your fanfiction, I promise. Ho! So that was Freddy v. Jason 5 Rekindled, is what I'm deeming it. Zulu, you missed something. You missed something, alright. Alright. So that being said, let's pause the music. Welcome to Nico's stream. Yeah. Uh-huh. Please. Freddy whimpered, his voice barely audible. Harder, Jason. Make me yours. I think it added the fact that I had the little Freddy there. I think it added to the fact. Alright, let me turn on the fan because I'm warm. Not from the spiciness of that... from that fucking read, but because I've had this candle burning next to me all day.